So you know how I've been doing the birth chart, numerology birth charts to people throughout history? Well, if you didn't, I've been doing that. And I just did Rosa Parks. And that because I did Harriet Tubman before. And I just couldn't help but like actually make like a video about it. Because one, Rosa Parks has been said to be the reincarnation of Harriet Tubman. I think we're all one soul, and so technically we're all reincarnations of everybody, even the bad ones. But I could see that. Rosa Louise McCauley Parks. So we all know the story, Rosa. Of course we do, because like we know the story, and it's like the difficulty with the other people that I did was they didn't know for sure when they were born. Doing Harriet Tubman, she was born into slavery. I did Johann Sebastian Bach, and that was a long time ago. And so his birth date is also not known. So I like to focus on their names, um, because when you change your name then you get a minor expression, minor personality, and minor soul urge. There were things that were difficult to find out about them because Johann Sebastian Bach, music guy, like this is what he's known for, is being an amazing composer. Harriet Tubman is known for the Underground Railroad, but that spanned over a lot of time. And surprisingly, I got a lot of information. Um, but with Rosa Parks, because of the thing that she is known for, it was, I had to watch like three other videos to even get what I wanted. But I do have to say, considering that I was doing numerology, it was fantastic to be able to get the bus number and the license plate number, having the exact date that something happened, having her booking number. And can I just say, looking back on a lifetime and seeing how the numbers can really fit in, I mean, there are only nine numbers. Numerology is highly contextual, and of course, I'm going to be able to connect the dots of things that I want to see. But let me show you the pretty picture that I made connecting the dots. Rosa Parks was born February 4th, 1913, as Rosa Louise McCauley. I may be saying that wrong. That makes her an Aquarius sun. Hello. When Rosa was younger, I I read a little book called I Am Rosa Parks. When Rosa was younger, she was small, and even as she got older, she was small to stature. And she grew up poor. She grew up in a black household, in a city, and in history, a point in time in history where things were not so fun for black folks. So she went through a lot, and even though she had been through a lot, she she continued to endure. And she saw injustice or things that weren't fair, she did not appreciate that. So when we look at Rosa's numbers, her life path number is master number 11. That means she also has the life path of a 2 at the same time. Both master 11 and a 2. And I have to say, there's a lot of 1 energy. There's a lot of 11 energy in Rosa's chart. Her life path number is an 11. Her destiny number, um, from her birth name is a 1. Her personality number from her minor name is a 1. Her heart's desire soul urge is a 1. And with her minor soul urge, it's an 11. So let's just say she knows how to start things, like she knows how to be a trendsetter, but also she knows how to be diplomatic. Because that too, that patience that it takes to be dealing with some of this is really a huge part of why she was the one who got big about this. Because we know that Rosa Parks sat down for civil rights, okay? Or stayed seated for civil rights, okay? We know this. We know this. And most of us should know by now. And if not, hello, don't learn from me. Go learn from a historian. But there were, I believe, 5 other women who had sat before Rosa and stayed seated before Rosa. And so they say is that she was chosen because she's a nice church going woman. And as opposed to the other women, they weren't, I guess, of high enough character in order to make a movement behind her. I don't think it's about the other women and what they did or did not do. It's all about the fact that Rosa is an Aquarius sun. Rosa has a life path of a master number 11. She has a destiny of a 1. Her soul urge is a 1. And a minor soul urge of an 11. She can't help it. She's a star. It's Rosa. And whenever she was a kid, whenever she got pushed over by a young white boy who was skating along, she pushed him back and his mother was so mad that her black hands pushed her white son. And Rosa was like, woman, don't you dare. This is not fair. I did nothing wrong. Even then, when she was young. And the fact that something terrible didn't happen lets me know that she was being diplomatic and patient and said it in a way that was hopefully made her mother rethink. But who knows? I wasn't there. But that's one of the stories that she chooses to tell when she's talking about her life. Is being young and always just choosing to be on the side of what's fair and what's right. And that's Rosa, because Rosa's a star. Look, I can't with Rosa because, like, by the time the incident happened, she was 42 years old. I can only assume that she had reached her maturity. And her maturity ultimately is a 3, which is about being social and being creative and hanging out with groups and enjoying that group environment, collaboration. Rosa, Rosa, Rosa. December 1st, 1955, which I have to say, I went ahead and did the number on that. Did a vortex on that, okay? I vortexed it. And as we're vortexing, I get 555. So I'm not going to bore you with the math, but I get 555 and ultimately a 6. Her age at this point is 42. So on a 6th day and a 6th age, she gets on bus number 2857. This one, I'll bore you with the math. 2 and 8 is 10. 5 and 7 is 12. If we look at that, we have 1012. 1012. It's like, these motherfuckers are about to get a lesson in diplomacy today. That's what I saw. That's what it felt like. Rosa specifically had avoided this bus driver, since the last time she had been on his bus, when he kicked her off for going in through the wrong door. When she sat down to pick up her purse that she had dropped, he threw her out. And so she was like, I'm not going on that bus. I'm just not going on that bus for a while. And she didn't. And from what I saw, from what I heard, the only other time she got on that bus afterwards was this time. Now, currently, I am living in a personal 2 year. Being in a 2 year is about destiny. You can't really do a lot. You just got to hang out, and the people you're supposed to meet, you're supposed to meet. The people you're supposed to be done with, you're done with. Like, it is just truly a year of destiny and patience and acceptance. And that's what I have to keep telling myself. Two is Rosa's life path. She was giving them a lesson today. Whether or not she realized it, it wasn't like the numbers were ruling her. It just was the energy that she was in. So she was in her element that day. Because 1012 is 22, a master number. A master number 22 for this bus. For somebody whose life path and energy is a master number 11, ultimately a 2. She was in her element. 2 and 2 is 4. That is Rosa's birthday. That means she is just good at hard work and organizing. And she is granted the energy to exert. When people say she was tired from a long day, no, she was not tired from a long day. She was tired from a long life. Period. She was tired of the bullshit. She was a young 42, and she was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with this. This is unfair. Just like when she was young. That was unfair. That young boy pushed her. And it didn't matter the color of his skin. He shouldn't have pushed her. She wants things to be fair. 2 is ultimately 2 individuals coming together and being a partnership. But it's still 2 individuals. And fairness and equity is important. So on bus 2857, 1012, 224, Rosa Parks gave them all a lesson in diplomacy. Rosa has her little round and round with the bus driver. She gets off. She gets arrested. Her booking number is 7053. And we're going to go through the steps of how I did that vortex. 7 and 5, 12, 3 still there. We get 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 is our first prime set and our only true prime set. 1, 2, 3 are the beginning steps. This was just meant to be. She was meant to go in. She was meant to get arrested. She was meant to sit there and look like a stoic queen and teach people a lesson. Everyone took different bits from the lesson. But she was doing what she was supposed to do. She was being true to her life path. She was being true to herself. That often happens when people reach their maturity. And when they feel like it's time to stand or sit for something, they'll do it. Anybody will do it. You will do it. 1, 2, 3, I vortex 1 and 2 to get 33, master number. Because I choose to do it that way. Master number 33 is about creating ultimate harmony. because it's bigger than you, it's bigger than me. It's about truly family and the collective family and the collective in general. That includes the people who are enemies, the people that we do not know, the people that we love, and everything in between. 33 is a master number with the essence of 6 as a digital root. The essence is a 6, which directly translate to family, which directly translate to marriage, to commitments, to love. The Rosa Parks situation comes up from now on. Situation, apparently. I'm just gonna tell them. It wasn't about her going to church. Yeah, sure, that helped, I'm sure. But a lot of people went to church back then. You're telling me that none of those other 5 women went to church? And you're telling me that all those other 5 women had been arrested before and they weren't upstanding citizens? No. Rosa is an Aquarius. Star card. She is a star. Life path number 11 with so much 1 in her fucking chart. I think, let's see. I did Nikola Tesla. He had a life path number of an 11. All right? I'm not sure. Maybe that was H.P. Lovecraft. But you know, when you're doing white people, they're often racist. And especially back then. October 24th, 2005 was the day that Rosa finished her lifetime under Rosa Louise McCauley Parks. That lifetime in her material form has completed. That's why I like to do these. I like to see how I can see the things around the people and see their life. So then maybe I can take some lessons from it, you know? While doing Nikola Tesla, I have like a A1 in my chart. But Nikola Tesla died penniless, not just because of all the craziness that happened with all the other people who were stealing his ideas, but also his pride got the best of him. When you have a lot of 1 in your chart, you should know that 1 is just the beginning, and people will take your ideas and make it better, or be inspired by them and do something else. But at a certain point in Tesla's life, there was a change because he let his pride get the best of him. With Rosa Parks, at a certain point in her life, there was a change in the opposite direction. And of course, they are 2 very different people. Because numerology is so contextual, because we have to use digital roots 1 through 9, and I also use 0 too, but 0 is a whole other thing. But 1 through 9, it has to be highly contextual. It has to be almost tonal of a language. It was an honor to get to look at Rosa Parks through this lens. Because it's not like we don't already see her as an innovator, as somebody who's going to stand up for justice. Not only that, she was in a Generation 5. That's all about freedom. That's all about a relief and like just true expression of like being without burden. On her death date, October 24th, 2005, that is the essence of 5. Rosa Parks not only completed her purpose, but she continues to inspire others to find theirs. Thank you for letting me get to know you a little differently than everybody else, Rosa. It really is an honor. Also, I dreamt of rose quartz, and I feel like that was you. Goodbye.